Hey there and welcome back to Tactical Breach Wizards. My name is Pete and today we complete another episode of this completionist walkthrough on hard difficulty with health cut in half. Last time we left off, after officially wrapping up the game's third chapter, things certainly got dramatic when our adversary Liv Kennedy herself attacked us, who actually ended up killing our entire team except for Dessa Bax. Using a death's door and plenty of resurrections during her anxiety dream, Dessa made it out alive, promptly brought back the rest of the crew as well, and here we are, ready to go to Medil to stop Liv Kennedy and her allies from taking over the country for its mana supplies. Guess we're going to Medil. What's next for you, Dal? We're going dark for a while. We want to give that bombshell time to hit home before we ask the centrist dads to do anything about it. Chapel are already in a damage control frenzy. There's no way they can mobilize in Medil anytime soon. Hopefully ever. We're careful about hope. But you guys have been an edge on our blade we weren't counting on right when we needed to cut deep. In a fight like this, I can't tell you how that felt. So if you need some more gristle to jam in Reactor's meat grinder, I'm yours for a week. How can I help? I'm glad you asked. Oh, you want like an actual task. I thought we were just gonna fade out. Can you get us on a boat to Medil, please? This contact of yours, they know the right people in Medil? They're tied with the Militia brass, yeah, but Medil and Militia is cagey as f***. You met through the druids? Did the old collab. Militia wants a ticket punched out of state, shrub mobs got reach, sometimes my blower rings. So you're not actually mafia? Maid? Nah, strictly contract. One family was one too many. Heard druids in Medil don't get a choice. There's pressure on the north coast, no doubt. You cast anything planty, anything beastie, and they're at your door with a rose and a 45. But they like to get you young, lean on your folks. I was 21 when I unlocked. No folks, no door. Wasn't looking to belong. You ever cross paths with the Wexlers? Sure, big players in the north coast mob. Ever met Jirin? Remind me? Shortish, blonde guy? Oh, that like real ratty looking motherfucker? I wasn't gonna be a dick about it, but yeah. Like that real greasy, creepy rat f***er? We've established identity, you can lay off him now. Yeah, I liked him. Good laugh, terrible dancer. How's he doing? He's dead. Oh, downer. How? I shot him in the head. What the f*** did you do that for? He was a patient. And what, you forgot step 2? Jen interrupted me, called the cops before I could close up. It's how we met. Why are you telling me? I thought maybe you could let the family know. What's good, my mate executed your son? That it was an accident, in a sense? That's a tough sell, Doc. I can chuck you their digits if you want to take a whack at it, though. So, back in Liboli, that was Thistlekiss, right? She knows her poisons. Yeah, it's a bit cliché, but it fit the bill. Kennedy wanted slow and subtle. Skip the old man's craft. Ever tried Batrachotoxin? Oh, huge fan. Too quick for the Liboli job, but for lethality? Forget about it. Yeah, I'm surprised we don't see it more. I always wanted to res a bad case, but every poisoning I get it's thallium or digitalis. Rookie gag, that's curable. Exactly, it's like I can raise the dead, this guy has what is fundamentally a stomach ache. What are we doing here? Get on the bat train, amateurs. No antidote might be my 2 favorite words. Actually, they're seeing promising results with tetrodotoxin derivatives now. No, oh for f***'s sake, can't you stitches leave a good thing well enough alone? We just get carried away, I guess. So, where's the meat? Supply train leaves Red Sands at 8 sharp. We pile in the last car, Moss and her crew meet us there. Anything hinky, we're off at the next stop, no hard cheese. If everything's copacetic, we ride it all the way south. Shiv Liv, quick victory parade, back in time for last call. You really are new here, huh? Ryan, thanks for coming. Veska, Callan, Sabin, Banks, I've heard great things. Call me Moss. Our grapevine's buzzing about the Kalen jobs. Ryan tells me you helped? Ryan helped? Incredible work. Warms my heart to see the chapel squirm. How much do you know about our situation? Reactor are about to seize your mana mines, then claim they run the country? And it could work, militarily. We've been hit by their new craft-enhanced soldiers already, and it's been a massacre every time. But fighting them isn't my department. I'm in charge of a cell that's been tasked with aiming a little higher. Higher than defeating the world's largest private army, the most dangerous special forces operative in history, and however many super soldiers they've already made? Correct. The issue is this. Stopping this invasion isn't going to free Medil, because it won't be the last. We'll still be sitting on the only super weapon in the southern hemisphere. It's a weapon we never want to fire, and it'd be months till another nation comes knocking for it. So what's the fix? Destroy our own mana reserves. Bold. Why? We've wanted to for years. Even if it was just a dangerous drug, that's not what we want to build our economy on. And the DSR takes all the profit anyway. Now it's a world-changing weapon in the hands of anyone willing to violate their own people to turn them into cancerous super soldiers, and all of them have to come through us to get to it. I want to burn it all to dust. But doesn't it have scientific value? Oh, immense. We had institutes studying it, and they would have loved a lifetime supply to tinker with. But we live in a world of greedy children with knives, and that's not a world where you can study a loaded gun at your leisure. We have a few kilos stashed away for research, of course, but any more than that and we'll be bullied and killed for it until it's all gone. And why haven't you done it yet? Destroyed our stockpile? Strategy. Reactor run inspections, check throughput, and they outgun us for now. Destroyed our mines? Chemistry. The stuff doesn't burn, and digging the rest of it out is at least 10 years hard labor. So what's your plan? So that's the critical question, and it's why I wanted to meet you all immediately. Ryan, the pyromancer friend you told me about, you've seen him burn mana, but have you definitely seen him burn the source? Can he burn beryllium calcite? Yep, our first strike, little mana mine in Samia, he just lit the node and Bob's your uncle. That's incredible. You sure the whole thing burned out? Liv used their gear to check. She's anal like that. Okay, I'm trying not to get ahead of myself here, but this is very exciting. Do you guys want to help orchestrate a counter heist? Moss, we've got incoming. Elaborate? Reactor hijacked the 910 from Machine and it's gaining on us. Shit. Guess we're starting now. Everyone in the rear carriages, head up train in case we need to separate. Clear to engage, clear to board. Amir Medil. We should head up train, regroup. If you want to take the sport out of it. I do. You might want to cross. You push, I pull. We'll play it by ear. Alright then, let's get to it. We start things off with Jen and Ryan here. We also have some militia backup, but we hopefully won't have to rely on them too much, while over in the other train we have 4 reactor enemies. The confidence goals for this one are both fairly manageable. Ryan's refers to a spore bomb that he has now unlocked. Mechanically, this ability is very interesting, as this spore bomb deals damage that increases the more targets are hit. In total, for his confidence goal, Ryan wants to deal 12 points of damage with a single one, so we need our targets to be grouped closely together. A Gale Grenade from Jen will achieve that. Afterwards, Ryan can then grab the intel and use his Brittling darts on one of the 2 heavy gunners, just to ensure that the damage we deal with the spore bomb actually ends up taking them out. That spore bomb then affecting 3 enemies, which means each enemy will be hit for 4 points of damage, except of course for that brittled heavy gunner, who will take 1 point more. So there we go, 2 enemies down and confidence goal completed as well. Time to go to work with Jen. First of all, of course, we need to broom breach, and then as the first action afterwards we need to defenestrate an enemy. I've tried and chain bolt does not seem to work with this. Thankfully we have a second gale grenade, leaving the static blast to take out the last enemy. And just like that, both confidence goals have been completed and the map is clear, which means we can now move freely to get both our wizards into the green zone and end the level. Guessing the glowing walls are bad news? Barrier drone. Can shoot in, but you can walk right through them. Stop telling her how our shit works. Also, that's wrong. Points for effort, mate. Right, so in this one we immediately meet 2 brand new types of enemies. The first is this drone operator here, creating this 3x3 barrier, which indeed works just the way that Ryan just described. So we can't shoot through it, but movement is okay, and we can also throw things inside. Which brings us then to the Reactor medic, technically speaking not a new enemy. After all, we met them before in Dessa's anxiety dream, but this is the first we see of them in the field. Confidence goals meanwhile very straightforward. Ryan's is the exact same as last time, while Jen wants to finish this in 1 turn, so let's get to it and begin with Ryan. Now here's an interesting thing about the Spore Bomb. If we use it to target just the tracker here, then it will deal 2 points of damage. That's the minimum for 1 target, so nothing strange there. However, if we include the stun barrel in its radius, the damage increases to 3. And that's because the game defines target rather liberally, which also means that a spore bomb thrown at this particular tile here will suffice, dealing 4 points of damage 3 times, and yes, the damage dealt to the stun barrel is counted as well. So, that would be Ryan's confidence goal dealt with. Now we proceed with Jen, who wants us to clear out the entire train by the end of this turn. A Gale Grenade can bypass the drone's shield, pushing the operator back 1 tile, allowing Jen to then promptly push them out of the window. This then leaves us with 2 more enemies, both of them at only 2 hit points, so let's switch back to Ryan and have him bite the medic. Afterwards, we can then change back into his human form and use Impaling Vine to take out the tracker, and that leaves us now with only 1 more point of damage to deal, and thankfully Jen does have a second Gale Grenade. That Gale Grenade conveniently also gives both of our wizards an extra move, which we can use to get both of them into the green zone here before any reinforcements show up, allowing us to very quickly solve this level as well. Banks, what's the sit rep? Just letting everyone kill each other, then I res the ones I like. I think I'll go for a more hands-on approach. So, Banks joins the party as we meet slightly heavier resistance here. In addition to 3 reactor enemies, we also have 2 turrets in this part of the train, and this time our objectives also very clearly specify that we need to deal with all enemies, including reinforcements. Confidence goals we then only have for Banks and Ryan. The former wants to transfer 4 points of damage, the latter wants to have a rabid enemy deal 6 points of damage. First of all though, let's turn off the turret here, which technically makes it an ally, a fact that we want to keep in mind. The follow-up Spore Bomb then takes out both trackers and almost the second turret as well. All that is left to do now is to bite the heavy gunner. They are now rabid, seeing everyone as a hostile target and thus have targeted the turret, in part also because no enemy will ever target Ryan while he is in dog form. With Jen then, we are going to move up and destroy the other turret. There are sadly no terminals on this map allowing us to turn them over to our side, but that's okay, we should still be able to deal with all reinforcements regardless. Now, by casting Transference on the turret here, we essentially make sure that the heavy gunner is shortly going to take out themselves, which then also completes both our confidence goals in one swift motion. So, time to meet our reinforcements, and this is where things once again get interesting, as we meet the Chaser. These are the aforementioned reactor prototypes imbued with traces of Liv Kennedy's magic, which means, just like Liv, they get to move after every single action we take. Now, unlike Liv, they can only strike us once per turn and are also limited to melee weapons, which does make them a bit more manageable, but still they remain an enemy that you need to carefully plan around. This first one here, however, is quickly dealt with by casting a Death's Door right behind them. Following that, we move up with Jen, causing the chaser to move yet again, but too late to avoid the static blast. Of note at this point, the fact that we've got 2 more of them incoming on the next turn, while we also still have a reactor tracker to deal with on this one, although following the sedative cocktail here they won't give us any more trouble, as once again the tracker on our side will shoot first. So we end the turn, which immediately brings 2 new chasers about, although coincidentally Ryan is in the perfect position to take one of them out instantly with his impaling vine. That leaves the other one, who with both confidence goals already completed is a similarly easy target. A double hit from Spectral Skull will quickly take care of them. To finish the turn then, we move Ryan and Dessa just a little bit closer towards the green zone, and then we trigger the next and final wave of reinforcements, a tracker and another chaser. Once again, no trouble here, the move from Ryan gets the chaser into the perfect position to yank them off the train, while the tracker gets taken out by yet another double Spectral Skull. And there we are. All that is left to do now is to move everyone into the green zone, and that ends level 3 of 5. Veska, Sabin, cover me. I'm gonna cross. If Reactor want those warheads, I'm gonna put a bow on them first. On it. Alrighty, so for this one we are joined by none other than Militia cell leader Moss herself, although we cannot directly control her. As a matter of fact, her only objective is to get over to this bomb site here, and to complete Zan's objective we want her to get over there in 1 turn. As you can guess, that will require some trickery. Having Dal deal 5 points of slam damage with 1 charge meanwhile should be easily achievable. So our first move then, very simple. Let's have Zan grab the intel and send his false prophet over to the terminal here to open the door. Afterwards, we're going to lay down a predictive bolt at Moss's current location, and then we switch to Dal, who can move over to the other side of the train, grab the intel there, and charge the tracker. This does not quite get her the 5 points of slam damage required, but much more importantly it allows her to swap positions with Moss now, and not only that, after grabbing another batch of intel we can now also swap positions again with the tracker, which immediately gets them taken out by Zan's predictive bolt. With Moss now in position to plant the bomb on this turn, we charge Dal towards the reinforcement door, and seeing that a chaser is about to come through this one, we're also going to lay down another predictive bolt with Zan. Package armed, get back to your friends and let them know the north train's gonna blow. So, having just completed Zan's confidence goal, and with that the 0-day delivery achievement, let's end the turn. Considering that only 2 enemy units will be able to make it into the area, this should not be too difficult. So we've got a tracker and a medic, again nothing too crazy, and we start things off with a simple sensor slam to take care of the tracker. Following that, we move Dal into just the right spots and give her a time boost, allowing her to also charge the medic now and to complete her confidence goal. And there we go, the train is cleared once more. This time the doors of chaser and tracker are reversed. So let's have Dal come a little closer to where she will be needed, and we're also going to lay down another predictive bolt with Zan to end our turn here. Also, no more reinforcements have come through the 2 doors at the right side of the train, so this chaser here is all we've got left. 1 move with Dal though, and we get them right where we want them to be for the sensor slam. On the next turn we've got 2 of them incoming, so let's make it 1 with another predictive bolt here. Moss has also safely made it back to our part of the train, ensuring her survival. So let's finish this quickly. Moving Zan into the green zone gets the chaser moving. 1 more tile from Dal and we've got them right where we want them to be. With everything cleared, she can now move freely, and thus level 4 has also been completed. Everyone back to the south train. The north wants toast in 3 seconds. Oh, this ought to be good. And indeed it will be. This mission took me a long time to figure out. Yes, we now have a full squad at our disposal, and yes, we also only need to survive for 3 turns, but it's the confidence goals where things get difficult. Admittedly though, that is in large part also because we're going for another achievement here on this first turn, an achievement to defenestrate 5 hostiles in 1 round, coincidentally the exact number of enemies we currently have to begin with. So let's get things started with Jen here, who is going to move up and grab the intel, before Dessa then casts transference on her with the drone operator as the target. This now allows us to transfer Ryan's impaling vine on that operator, yanking her off the train, removing her barrier and giving us defenestration number 1 of 5. Since we targeted a friendly, the impaling vine is also ready to be used again, although that will actually not be necessary on this turn. While Dal accumulates the first few tiles of knockback, she needs 30 in total for her confidence goal, Dessa moves up to the terminal here to open the cargo doors, and then throws her sedative cocktail at the 2 heavy gunners. Following that, Jen uses a gale grenade to get defenestration number 2 and to also get the tracker in position, setting things up for a chain bolt to unlock the window cleaner achievement. So that's 5 enemies defenestrated, 5 more to go to complete her confidence goal. However, we also only have 8 more enemies incoming as reinforcements, and somehow we also still need to accumulate 22 additional points of knockback for Dal. And no, we cannot prolong this level any further, things will end as soon as we reach the end of turn 3. That is also why we are not setting up any predictive bolts here. It is absolutely vital that all reinforcements are allowed to enter the area, just to maximize our odds of actually being able to complete both confidence goals. However, that also means that we now have to deal with 2 neutralizers and 2 chasers, and let's focus on the chaser over on Dal's side first. Unfortunately, at the moment they have picked a wrong path to approach us, so let's deploy Dal's riot shield to get them moving the other way around. Then we can move her back in anticipation of the next move, and that next move is obviously going to be a charge. All of this has also caused the other chaser to move dangerously close towards Jen. However, we actually want them to move 1 more tile, so let's get Ryan moving and then we can simply blast the chaser off the train for defenestration number 6. Following that, we are then going to use Ryan's impaling vine to drag the neutralizer into position, and at this point you might be able to see where this is going. Dal uses her second charge to get in 1 line with that neutralizer, which is then followed by Zan moving back to grab the intel and throwing his time bomb on Dal and Jen. And so Dal can now charge and defenestrate, adding valuable progress to both of our confidence goals. So here we are, 7 hostiles defenestrated, 25 tiles of knockback achieved, giving us enough breathing room here to simply blast that last neutralizer, the first enemy in this level we have not killed with a charge or defenestration. So this brings us to the end of turn 2, only 1 more to go, and once again we are allowing all reinforcements to make it in here. Those reinforcements are 2 heavy gunners and 2 more chasers, and we need to push at least 3 of them off the train to complete Jen's confidence goal, so let's go to work. We start things off by moving Dal into position for another defenestration charge. Banks then moves out of the grenade's explosion radius, and because the chaser is still not where we need them to be, we can also use Broom Breach with Jen, not only to get her off of the train that's about to explode, but also to get her closer to the other chaser. The first one, meanwhile, is now in the perfect spot to be charged by Dal, completing her confidence goal and also leaving us with only 2 more defenestrations to make. Luckily, Jen has another gale grenade to quickly make that 1. So, 1 more to go and you can probably see which of the 2 heavy gunners here is the easier target. A quick sedative cocktail from Banks makes them a bit more movable, and afterwards Ryan can just yoink them off the train. So, there we go, both confidence goals completed. It is about to be the end of turn 3 and we have everyone off of the northern train. Thanks to Dal's riot block and the air canister over here, the spore bomb also deals enough damage to take out the second heavy gunner, leaving us with only one more task, and that is to charge Dal out of the explosion zone. And just like that, we can now hit the 4C button, but know that we will remain unscathed, as the 5th and final level of this train job is completed. God, what a mess. You guys should get some rest. I'll take care of the bodies. Or I could bring them back? What? Alright, so here we are with another mission under our belt, and once again we have perk points to spend, this time for Jen and Ryan. And let's begin with everyone's favorite witch, who is now going to receive an upgrade to her broom breach. Forced entry now makes it so that Jen can even breach on tiles that have enemies standing on them, and those enemies will also be pushed back a total of 3 tiles. Certainly a bit situational, not so much this upgrade for Ryan though. We all saw today how damaging a spore bomb can potentially be, so we might as well give him a second one. In longer missions with multiple groups of enemies, this could be very useful. Outfits wise then, it's time to unlock East Point Knights, the second to last outfit for Jen. A bit bland perhaps, but that serves only to contrast the last one. Banks meanwhile goes back to med school with a more colorful look here, and with that we have now unlocked all the new outfits that are available to us at this point, which means we have also reached the point to make the cut for today. We are fast approaching the end of the series, but it's not over yet, so I hope you're looking forward to the next episode, and of course I also hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can of course also go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or check out and maybe even pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.